Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I am filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2023 related video here on my channel, and more specifically, another Melodifestivalen related video too, because right now I'm about to listen to snippets for the first time of all of the songs in Heat 3 of this year's Melfest, which, as we all know, is the selection method for Sweden with regards to the Eurovision Song Contest. And this year's ESC takes place this May in Liverpool in the UK on behalf of current champions Ukraine. I have some information in front of me to make sure I don't forget anything too important, but firstly I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has watched two of my recent videos, one where I spoke about my plans for May and a little bit about the future of this channel, and also the video where I spoke about Finland and the quality of UMK over the past few years. That video in particular has fared so much better than I thought it was going to. So a huge thank you to everybody who left a comment, left a like, maybe subscribed because of it, or just saw the video in general. Many, many thanks. It is very much appreciated. I also want to take this opportunity to say, as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So, last week on February the 11th was Heat 2 of this year's Melfest, and it took place in Linköping. Out of the 7 names involved, 2 have gone through to the second chance round, 5th semi-final, whatever you want to call it, and 2 obviously went through directly to the final next month in Stockholm. I have seen the performances and I made a few notes about them, so I'm just going to briefly recap last week's events. In the second round of voting, finishing 6th and last with just 12 points, was Comfortable by Eden, and I believe Eden was one of the artists to watch that me and my friend put up in an Instagram post on our joint page weeks ago, and sadly she's out at the first hurdle, finishing last no less. I wrote here that it was very casually done, very casual attire, tattoos on display, great vocals. I'd love to see her come back with maybe something a little bit more up-tempo. Reminded me a little bit of Ed Sheeran's music. We had a string section come in later on in the song, which was quite nice. It did pick up a bit, but not nearly enough. And I cannot say I am surprised that Eden did not do terribly well in the voting. I'm looking here, she did okay with younger viewers, but 1 point with everybody from the age of 16 up, and she didn't do very well in the telephone vote either. Can't say I'm shocked, but a really nice song, very gentle, lovely vocals, really lovely vocals, but just not at the level it needed to be. 5th out of the 6 remaining songs, 22 points for Uje Brandelius with Grittan. We don't often get a song quite like this in Melfest, and when we do, they never fare that well, and that's the case with this one as well. But I have to say, I really didn't mind this one bit. I've written down pretty much all one camera shot. We don't often get performances like that in any national final. Very gentle, a little bit on the dated side. He sat there with his cup of tea, taking sips from it every few moments. Again, very casually executed. There was some sort of theatre production going on behind him, and I didn't really know whether that was a distraction or not from what he was actually doing, which wasn't a whole lot. He was just sitting there sipping his tea, as I just said. So I felt as though perhaps the performance could have been a bit tighter somehow. But I liked the melody, it was a nice change of pace, and I've written here that it reminded me of the music of 2 different bands, Bell and Sebastian, this long-running, pretty good Scottish band, and The Beautiful South. It just reminded me a tiny bit of the music of those 2 bands. I don't know why, but I wrote it down in my notes. Anyway, he's out. Then, 5th, or rather 4th, my apologies, with 47 points, Victoria with All My Life, Where Have You Been? Oh dear me. I was thinking about this yesterday. Sometimes your first entry in Melfest, or any national final, is the strongest one you're ever going to have. This was Victoria's 4th attempt at representing her country. She had Save Me years ago, great stuff. Then she came back with As I Lay Me Down, great, but arguably not as strong. Then she came back with Not With Me, this big emotionally charged ballad. You could argue not as strong, and the result slightly more disappointing. And then this track, for the first time, Victoria doesn't go through to the final automatically. She's not even through to the second chance round 5th semi-final. She is out. And I have to say I'm not too surprised. When I heard the snippet last week, a video you may well have seen, I was left feeling a tad underwhelmed. I saw the whole performance recently. I thought it was very good. This is a woman who can really sing. She's still so young, but she's got charisma. She performed with a smile on her face. She was really owning it. Bit of choreography, slight 80s disco vibes going on as well. There was this pyramid of lights behind her. You'll know what I'm on about if you've seen it. And then at the end it changed into this W. She was having a blast. I thought it was a really good opener to the show. I thought it was a really nice track. Maybe nothing groundbreaking, but it just got me thinking. She's come back, and it's so obvious that she's not in it to win it, which is a real shame. And something tells me that if she comes back again in the future, she's not going to be in it to win it. It's sort of the situation that we had with Jon Henrik in week 1. Every song that he's had since his first one has arguably become a little bit weaker. I don't know, that's up for debate, but I've written here, great performer, charisma, disco, pyramid of lights, that sort of thing. A really good bop. Because it really was. I am amazed this didn't make the top 4. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of hers. Although I am a fan. I really think this should have made the top 4. But there we are. Instead, going through to the 5th semi-final, second chance round, whatever you want to call it, we have, with 69 points, Tennessee Tears with Now I Know. This is the male-female duo. I wanted this to be a touch more country. Instead, it's a little bit poppier, but still not bad. Did okay in the telephone vote, the maximum 12 out of the 6 songs left, which is very impressive. Older viewers certainly enjoyed it. I thought this was staged really simply but really well. I was really engaged with this from start to finish. Great vocals, nice and easy going. Had momentum from that first chorus. You know, we were straight into it. There wasn't really any build-up. We were just along for the ride. Needed a bit more originality, I've written here, actually. I suppose it could have benefited from that, but there we are. Very feel-good, nicely done. I liked it very much, and I would be quite happy if this made the final. Then, going through to the 5th semi-final as well, Meravde by Teots, still so young. He was in Melfest last year. He's come back with something that is not a million miles away from his entry last year. He looks older, he looks more mature, he looks even more comfortable on stage. He's a bit of a showman. Choreography. Something I will say about Melfest is, my God, they need to get more dancers, because some of those dancers crop up year after year after year after year after year. They are very good dancers, but my God, I'm just thinking to myself, there's that face again, there's that face again. But anyway, Meravde, this should have gone through automatically to the final if you ask me. And if you do ask me, I'm going to tell you anyway, this is perhaps the strongest song from this year's Melfest so far. It is nothing original. I've heard it all before, but I just thought it was really good. I was engaged with it. We had the sort of pixelated, coloured lights behind him. We had loads of dancers. Very colourful, the obligatory key change. Maybe it ran out of steam towards the end. We had pyros as well. And again, feel good, as I've written here. Really, really nice. And I think he is somebody who is going to keep coming back and try and win Melfest at some point. If not this year, then maybe in the near future. Very, very good. 78 points. Going through automatically to the final then, Panietos. Ahead of Teots, ahead of Tennessee Tears, ahead of Victoria. I don't know about that myself. They have Melfest pedigree. They've done all right with the public in the past. This was on my way. 84 points. Did very, very well in every age range. What have I written here about Panietos? Very summery, very colourful, great harmonies, great choreography. It's exactly the sort of thing that they've had in the past. It's nothing new, but it was really nice, bringing some joy to the lineup. Could do well in the public vote. However, something tells me that this may actually struggle in the final once we have the whole lineup. Like I said, I am genuinely quite surprised this went through automatically, but there we are. Winning this semi-final, though, I wonder why. Maria Sur with Never Give Up. Okay, look, some people online have claimed that she only won this heat because she is Ukrainian. Was there some sympathy towards her? Maybe, but no doubt about it, this was good. This was good. Okay, again, nothing groundbreaking, but I actually thought she delivered. It was everything I wanted, to be honest with you. Great vocals. For somebody so young, mwah, those vocals were really, really good, no denying it. A bog standard ballad, though. Too basic, question mark. It is a contender to win. You are fooling yourself, if you ask me, if you think that this is not a contender to win Melfest. Because in the final, those jury points will be coming in. And okay, it might not be 12, 12, 12, but she's going to be getting a lot of good marks. And then the public are going to vote for her in big numbers as well. This is potentially going to be a straightforward battle between Maria and Lorien. It could be a two-horse race. But a really nice song. And I can't say I am surprised that she won Heat 2. But enough rambling about that. Let's move on to Heat 3. The songs we have are Paul Ray with Royals. He's back yet again. I've never really loved any of his previous Melfest entries, but maybe my opinion will change on this one. We have Casanovas with So come Chanslorna Tilbaka, which I think roughly means So the Love Returns Again, something along those lines. Anyway, they are a typical dance band, this sort of nostalgic sing-along, feel-good, again I use that word, sort of thing going on. Then we have Melanie Weber with For the Show, and she's written a couple of Eurovision national final tracks in the past, I believe. We have Nordman, yes, with Slep alla Sorge, which I think means get rid of your worries or something like that. I really don't know. Anyway, Nordman were in Melfest twice, years ago, and were my personal Melfest winner one year with Ödet var min väg, do 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 do. A classic, absolute classic. Check it out if you haven't heard it before. Really, really looking forward to hearing that one. Then we have Laurel Barker with Sober. There is a woman whose name is familiar with Eurovision fans because she's written a couple of Eurovision contenders in the past. We have Lord Hellestan's Support, Let the Whole Town Watch by Ida Lova. And then we have Marcus and Martinus with Air. Winners of Norway's MGP Junior years ago. They are Norwegian. They are big business. Still very young, but they have had huge success in Norway and Sweden in the past. And I think a lot of younger viewers are going to be voting for them in big numbers. So on paper, Marcus and Martinus and Paul Ray automatically to the final. And perhaps Nordman and Melanie through to the fifth semi-final. Anyway, I'm on svtplay.se. I'm going through this in the way that I did last week, with my least interest first to my most interest, if you see what I mean. So the act that I'm least interested in is Casanovas with Så kommer känslorna tillbaka. Absolute first listen, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any lag, any buffering issues, apologies. Here we go. Casanovas. Oh. Okay, this is a sort of mid-tempo throwback sound. Slightly rocky. Very 80s. This is the chorus. Yeah, it's very sing-along, you know. Come on, everybody, clap along. It's in Swedish, which is good. It's quite uplifting. But my God, it's a bit dated too, isn't it? It's like when glam rock bands back in the day did something a little bit slower and not as glamorous or vibrant, you know, that's what it's reminding me of. Yeah, I mean, that's actually not too bad. It's not going to win Melfest, but it's not too bad. Let's go back and listen to the next song. What will I go with now? I think we're going to go with Laurel and Sober. So here we go. She's wearing a white and green cap in this picture. Laurel Barker, ladies and gentlemen. Song 5 on the weekend. Okay, it's a pop song. This is the chorus, bit brassy. Oh, what is it with Sweden and choruses that are thin on lyrics? They just let the beat and the melody do all of the work. It's like, here are the verses with all of the words, and when we get to the chorus, forget it. I don't know, it seems to be a running thing in Sweden. Anyway, I'm not sure I like her voice that much here, I'll be honest. It's sort of half singing, half rapping almost. This could be a messy live performance, actually, thinking about it. Yeah. It reminds me a tad of a song that was in contention for Norway a few years ago called Feel the Rush by Freddie Callas. That song was miles better than this one. Yeah, can't say I was really engaged with that one at all. A little bit on the dull side, actually, for a song that's fairly up-tempo. But there we are, gotta be honest. Let's move on now to Paul Ray. Why not? Doesn't seem to age, this man. Liamu has co-written this as well. It's called Royals, and it opens this week's third heat. Here we go. Okay. It's more up-tempo than The Missing Piece, which was his entry the other year. He reminds me a bit of Victor Krooner, in the sense that you sort of know what you're getting every time. There's nothing left field here. This is the pre-chorus, stripping it back a bit. It's quite anthemic. That's not bad. Here's the chorus then. We can be royals. Yeah. It's quite fast-paced, and like I said, quite anthemic, chant-like at times as well. That wasn't bad. Again, not good enough to win Melfest, but not bad. Let's now listen to Lort Hellastan Support by Ida Lova. And Joy Deb and Linnea Deb have co-written this, and they are big songwriters. So here we go. This is song 6 this weekend. A ballad then. And in Swedish. Piano, strings, yeah. Hate to say it, but this will probably finish last. Songs like this need to be majestic to really do well at Melfest, I feel. I imagine minimal lighting, camera moving past her, somebody pretending to play the piano off to one side, maybe a bit of a smoke machine. It's very nice. Quite haunting, very pretty. I was actually expecting a pop song from her for some reason, but there we are. That was over very quickly. Yeah, Gotta be honest, I think that stands no chance, but it's not bad. Let's now listen to Marcus and Martinus with Air, and this could be a major contender. There they are. Big stars. I have to say, why didn't they try and represent their own country? Maybe they thought Melfest is bigger. Oh, okay. Slowly building up here. Hand claps in the back, is that? It's a bit of a clubby song. When I'm with you, I need no air. Well, you'll keel over then. Okay, it's quite mature sounding, this. Reminds me of Liamu a little bit. Yeah. It's building up here. Need a big drop. What? Unbelievable. It ended right there, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a teaser that is. Clearly saving themselves for the weekend. That sounded okay. Can't really judge it much, though, because I didn't hear the chorus. I didn't hear that explosive moment in the song. But there we are. They will do very well. Let's now listen to Melanie Weber with For the Show. There she is. And this is co-written by the same guy who wrote Move by the Mamas. Okay, we've got this moody pulse to the song. Dun, 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 dun. Nice voice again. Okay. It's a little predictable the way this is going. I'll be interested to see how this one is staged. How do you make it stand out from the field when it's this type of song? Not a big up-tempo number or a ballad. Okay, yeah, that sounded fine, but a little uninspired. Very typical Melfest fodder, you have to say. That leaves 2 tracks, ladies and gentlemen. Does it leave 2 tracks? No, it does not. Oh my days. That leaves Nordman, ladies and gentlemen, with Släpp alla sorger. There they are. Jimmy Jansson, Thomas Gierson have written this. I've got high hopes. Oh yeah, that gritty voice. What a classic act. We're going back years. And it's in Swedish. It's a little bit folky, but their previous tracks were like this. Släpp alla sorger. Oh! Yeah, we've got that Celtic whiff. Yeah, this isn't bad. It's the instrumentation that's doing it for me. And that's it. Over very quickly. Okay, maybe wanted a little bit more momentum there, a little bit more power. That might come in the final third. But that was Nordman, and they'll be performing 4th this weekend. Okay, not as strong as Heat 2, based on first thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I would say going through directly to the final, Marcus and Martinus without breaking a sweat, and Paul, I would say. And then through to the second chance round, I think Casanovas might do it, and Nordman. And then I think 5th will be Melanie, and then I think 6th will be Laurel, and then I think 7th will be Ida Luva, unfortunately. And then for me personally, I think Nordman might be my winner of that heat, followed by maybe Paul. I can't judge the two brothers because I didn't hear enough of it to really gauge what it's going to be like. So yeah, obviously I will check out the performances and the songs in full as and when, and next week I will discuss those songs and performances in my next Melfest related video. And of course next week we get to hear Lorraine. Yes indeed. Is her song going to be a major contender, or is it going to be a big fat disappointment? Because it certainly could be. Let's not rule it out. Anyway, until next time, thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this lineup, and I'll be back with more Eurovision-related content very soon, because we are getting the French entry at the end of this week. Yes, indeed, and I have very high hopes for that one. Will the internal selections save this year's contest? Here's hoping. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.